Hello everybody, this is Everyday Taipei. Today we are going to Shilin Night Market. So just to show you installation and everything, that's Taipei 101, that's Taipei Main Station, and this is Shilin Night Market. It is on the red line. We're going to be getting off at the Jiantan Station, exit number 1. We're going to walk up a ways, and we're going to end at the heart of the night market, which is the Shilin Temple. Okay, so this is the exit number 1 at the Jiantan Station. And if you're having trouble getting your bearings, there's a pretty iconic looking building to the left. Here, it is a performing arts center that isn't open yet, but it should be soon. So if you're making any plans, it should be open by the time you get here. I don't know why you would need to go there. Maybe there's a show, but it should be open by then. So you're going to be walking up here. So something that's a little bit confusing if you're not from here, if it's your first time here. On the red line, we got off at the Jiantan Station. There's actually a Shilin Station, which is the next station over. And so Shilin Night Market is actually in between the two. And you might get confused and want to take that exit. But most likely, if you are visiting here, you're going to be in the center of the city and coming out from there. And so most likely, the Jiantan Station is probably going to come first. So it's not to say that the Shilin Station is wrong, but you're probably wasting a little bit of time. And if you've seen any of the YouTube videos, they most likely start here, I want to say. And so you walked up a little ways, and you're presented with this intersection here. And what is kind of nice is you can walk directly across. You see there's the X pattern as well. So you don't necessarily have to wait for two different lights. And so you can just kind of run across here. And I would say that this is like a forking section. They ultimately end up at the same place. But you can either go left from the tip of this block or to the right. And so it really doesn't matter. It's just your preference for that night, or maybe something looks a little bit more appetizing on the left side. But yeah, it doesn't make too big of a difference, so you don't have to sweat that detail. It's a little bit slow tonight. Usually, you would see a lot more carts at the tip of this block. So there would be a bunch of people and a bunch of different carts lined up here, and so it's a little bit of a slow day. I thought it was going to be a little bit busier than it was because it was Thursday. No, like I want to say it was like a Tuesday before Chinese New Year, but it looks like it wasn't that busy. Small kind of side story: if you come here during Chinese New Year, the kind of tradition now is for everybody to get scratch cards or like lottery tickets. And so there's a bunch of those kind of kiosks kind of up the street to the right. Instead of, I'm taking this left here, but if you would have kept on going straight, there's a bunch of these scratch card shops. And so it's become somewhat of a tradition now for people to come here after eating and do the scratch card things. At the time of this recording, it's already Chinese New Year Day, so it's actually we did that. We went there and it was packed there, and we didn't win any. We won $100, which is like $3.40 US. So kind of bummed about that, but it's all in good fun, I guess. You go there, you get a scratch card, and you say you did it. I don't know. So Shilin Night Market, to be honest, is a night market that I rarely ever go to now. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but it's kind of been pigeonholed as kind of this tourist, I wouldn't say tourist trap, but it's for tourists. I think a lot in the hearts and in the minds of the people here. I mean, if you do research, like before I came here, everybody wants to know which night market to go to, and usually they would recommend this night market as like the biggest and the baddest night market. That, or maybe Raohe Night Market, which is on the other side of the city. And so maybe that's where it came from. It is kind of I want to say it's the biggest night market. Don't quote me on that, but I think it is. It does have a lot of shops, and so right now, if you've been looking around, it's about like 50-50. The shops are not all open at the moment, so it was a little bit sad, I want to say. But I still walked it anyway, and so usually everything's open and kind of busy. But I think because of the coronavirus, some of the buildings have closed down, and it's not as busy as it usually is. I do. It's kind of a mix. Like if you've seen my Shimun video, it has those types of shops as well, like a bunch of clothing stores and a bunch of cell phone accessory stores, and much of the same like food fare. And so maybe that's why I don't come here, is because I don't really shop a lot, and then the type of food that you can get here, you can kind of get everywhere. At most of the other night markets. So I just don't hassle, and I just go to a different night market. One of the things, if you're not familiar with night markets, it usually starts at a temple. And so if you come here and you've noticed it, there's always usually a temple, and that's because something to do with entertaining the gods or the spirit of those temples, to keep them entertained. And so it all kind of branches out from there. The temple here is a pretty cool one. I want to say it's for the ocean god Mazu, and usually the bigger temples are, maybe because it's an island nation and a lot of this stuff happens, but I don't hear too many of the other gods being mentioned. Mazu is a big one though. And so it's kind of encouraged for people to hang out around the temples here because of that. And so because it's kind of a different concept than what we would guess in the West, I would say. Like, it's usually a very somber, very conservative affair at a church or like a religious place of worship. But here it's kind of, night markets are around temples, and it's kind of like, once we get to the center, you'll see that there's a lot of people sitting down in them. And so I think you have to kind of change your perspective if you've come here. And so we just took a left, and we're coming up on the temple pretty soon. If you see this red lantern here, to the left, this cart here is a cart of a famous pepper bun. So if you're doing a lot of research, you'll come across this pepper bun that is mainly known for its stall in the Raohe Night Market. And so there will be, if you go to the Raohe Night Market for this thing, it'll be like a super long line. It goes really fast, but it'll be a super long line. You can get that same pepper bun here at that same kiosk. So little insider baseball for you on that one. So to the right, we're coming up on the temple here, and this is a Michelin certified kiosk thing to the right that we just passed. I don't know. I want to say it's some kind of oyster noodle thing. I probably got that wrong, but it's Michelin rated or something like that, and so they make a big deal of it. You'll see. They'll definitely let you know that is it. We're getting in the middle of the night market food stalls, so coming here you'll get a lot of the stalls that you would want to see. And so we are here. This is the temple. I'm going to show you a little bit more of it. I'm going to walk into it in a second. But you can see here that it's a little bit dark, but there's definitely people hanging out on either side of it. And I've done this 100 times. You go here, you get like beer if you want, or like food from this food stalls, and you come here and you can sit down like all these other people are doing here. You know? It's not a bad thing. I think if you littered, it'd be a bad thing. If you didn't throw away your food, it's a bad thing, but Uh, it's definitely okay to come here and sit on the steps and have your snack. I wanted to show you what the temple looked like a little bit before I went, because this is kind of a short video. I wanted to show you what's inside because you can go inside. It's not off limits as well. So this is back at that incense burning urn. I heard you're supposed to enter from the right and exit from the left side, or when you're looking at your right. I'm not too sure about that. I heard that was the etiquette or some kind of good luck thing. And so usually you come in and there's this big deity that's Mazu up there in the middle. People are usually like burning incense and bowing and praying. And then there's all these like sub entities. I don't know what they are, like lesser spirits, and so they're to the right and the left and maybe in the back of it. And it's a pretty cool place. Like, the architecture is crazy. You feel like you went back. It's kind of like, does feel a little bit mystic. And so if you're into that kind of stuff, it's really cool. Here's another one. So yeah, I just wanted to show you a little bit of Shilin Night Market. I'll be showing you a little bit more of it because it is such a big place. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other places you'd like to see, just leave it in the comments down below, and I'll be try to get there for you. But other than that, I'll be seeing you on the next one.